Barstool Sports. Titus, Brandon Walker. Mostly sports.
All right, be better today, Connor.
I'll fucking do my best, dude.
Be better today. Hello, it's Mostly Sports. Why are you bouncing?
Because I am excited. I'm in a great mood.
Really, why?
Hey, his name's T-Bob.
Oh, and he's bobbing.
He's bobbing up and down.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I got a new shirt.
Yeah.
Badass Qui-Gon Jinn shirt. Maybe one of the most underrated Jedi of all time. A man whose legacy is aged.
Can we not do this nerd
incredibly
shit at
well?
the
At 30 seconds, his legacy's aged incredibly well over time, to the point where I don't even know if George Lucas or the writers even fully grasp.
Are you saying writers or riders?
Right. Well, I'm pretty sure George Lucas has writers and writers. Mm-hmm. But either way, I was thinking about this morning on the drive-in. Like, did he even fully grasp when he was writing Qui-Gon Jinn the depth of what he was creating and how it aged? Probably not. But it was great anyway. Divinely inspired, some would say. So I'm in a great mood, Brandon.
Who would say that?
What?
Who would say that?
I said it. And I'm some. Connor, would you say it?
See.
See?
Oh, my
so there
mic
you
is
go.
loud.
He's still in Mexico City.
Yes.
Hey, Mark, what do you do when you're out with friends and the waiter comes up and asks what everyone wants to drink?
I'm the best-looking guy at the table. I immediately charm the waiter with a wink and a beautiful mustachioed smile.
You do a quip?
I have perfect feet. I may offer a quip or two to show my incredible wit, formed by years of writing and whatnot and being a successful author. And then I'll say, you know what, guys? It's time for some Jaeger shots.
Are you an author?
Mark Titus. You said, hey, Mark.
Oh, you're Mark.
I've been role-playing Mark.
Oh, I see.
Hi.
God. Okay.
No,
now it makes sense.
I am not a writer. I am not beautiful. I am not mustachio. No, yes.
Oh, very good.
I don't have nice feet.
I was confused.
No, I'm the antithesis of Mark physically, but for this role play, that's what I imagine Mark's life is like.
Yes.
Every server he's ever had is immediately disarmed and charmed by him.
Yeah.
And they all just fall in love with him.
Yeah.
And I order a round of shots because that's what the cool guy does.
Yeah. Cool.
Yes. Very
You know what the drink should be? Ice cold. Connor?
Damn, that's cold.
Ice cold shots, that's what you should be drinking. Everyone go out and get your Jagermeister. You've been drinking it wrong. Drink it ice cold, 0 degrees Fahrenheit, 56 botanicals, all the good stuff. We say it every day, and we mean it every day. So wherever you're at, if you're hanging with friends or at the bar, maybe you're doing all the sports stuff or just the mostly sports stuff, call the shots. Cheers with ice cold Jagermeister. Remember to check Jagermeister out at barstoolxjagermeister.com. Drink responsibly. Jagermeister liqueur, 35% alcohol by volume, imported by Master Jagermeister U.S. White Plains, New York.
Yeah.
T-Bob, what would you like to talk about?
I want to talk about the big dumper and the home run derby, dude. I thought it was actually fantastic. Massive win for the MLB last night. Like, that's the guy who you want winning the home run derby, the one who leads the league in home runs. He does something that's never been done before. Just broke King Griffey Jr.'s Mariners record. That's cool as hell. Then he's the first ever switch hitter and catcher, both first in both categories, to come with the home run derby title. He actually switched hits in the competition, and he's got his father pitching to him and his beautiful Adonis 15-year-old little brother catching. I mean, it was a picture-perfect fucking moment.
That is all well and good, and I like that everybody enjoyed it. In fact, Ebo, you walked in here today saying, man, that was some type of event. That was an incredible event.
I think I turned it on for the first 5 minutes and I was watching the regular broadcast. I'm like, this is the worst thing I've ever watched. I switched to the ESPN 2 feed, the StatCast.
I should have watched
this is the best event I've ever watched.
It's actually my only quibble with the entire ordeal. Well, we'll get into it. What you have?
What's the bad part of the regular broadcast versus the great part of the StatCast?
So
broadcast?
On the regular broadcast, they were kind of trying to do a 50-50 split of like you saw the batter swing, and then they were like had one person like trying to track every ball they hit. And you couldn't do that. Whereas on the StatCast thing, it was basically a view from behind the batter.
This was the
and you would get like a
split screen on StatCast.
Yeah, you get a shot tracer.
That is way better.
Yeah, and then they would go full screen on it for the shot tracers. And also Kevin Brown was way better than Carl Ravitch. Carl Ravitch doesn't have the juice for it.
So I was going to say the original or the main ESPN broadcast was struggling in a couple of ways. First off, like you said, the 50-50 split, incredibly visually unappealing. you couldn't really tell what was going on. And maybe the speed of the event, the announcers seemed rattled. Like Ravitch kept calling balls home runs that were definitely ended up not being home runs. And I like the time nature of it because I think it's best for competition. And I like how they have the 3 outs at the end, and it gives you that sort of old school pitch by pitch feel. But again, it did make broadcasting it, and the way that they chose on the main channel, it made it tougher because in splitting 50-50, you kind of got like nothing in some ways. Like you would just see it come off the bat and be like, oh, I think that's a home run. And yeah, sure enough, it was, or it wasn't. So
now I don't have a problem with Cal Raleigh winning it. I think that we're in the summer of the big dumper.
Yes.
This is the summer of the big dumper. It is big dumper summer. It is here. We are living through it. He's setting these records. He is having the best season of his life. He has 38 home runs at the break. My God. What an incredible. So him winning the Derby is both right and good and everything. That being said,
Brent Rooker
got screwed.
Brent Rooker complaint incoming, you know.
Brent Rooker got absolutely screwed. Now, I'm saying this as a Mississippi State guy. Cal Raleigh, by the way, Brandon Walker fan. Like at least he told me he was.
Wow.
Shook my hand.
Jeez,
and then
nice.
he told me, and he's been on my Dingers only team 2 years in a row. So he is my guy.
Yeah.
But Brent Rooker, Mississippi State, got screwed. They hit the same amount of home runs in the first round.
Yep.
They had a tiebreaker, and Ravitch even sounded like he felt bad when he said it. Like, oh, we're finding out that Cal Raleigh's 471-foot home run was longer than Brent Rooker's 471-foot home run.
God.
How? No.
What the fuck are these numbers?
No, this is fan-fucking-tastic.
This is absolutely bananas.
This is the nerds ruining baseball.
This is the nerds ruining baseball. They're in a major league stadium with pitchers with bats in their hands. Have a swing off. Give them 3 swings each, and whoever hits more home runs. What is that number?
It turns out, dude, look, math is a hell of a thing. If you can launch a rover from planet Earth and have it land within a square mile of where you want on Mars, you can track where a baseball is going to the 10th decimal place.
Show me the number again.
10.
What's the point
The
of?
best part is you could have just cut it off after 4.61, 4.5.
You could have done it. You could have 470.5, 470.6. You could have cut it off right there.
They run this to the 10 billion.
Why did they do that?
What is that?
Because they're flexing.
It looks like
They're flexing the capability that they can do that, but also
that looks like coordinates to somebody's house.
the margin of error.
Treasure.
The margin of error on this is not.
Less than
It's got to be off.
10,
Like
yeah.
like there's no way the margin of error goes down to like that many decimals.
That's
A
what they're
tenth of a foot.
No, a billionth of a
10
foot.
billionth of a foot.
10 billion. That's what they're telling you. That's where the margin of error goes down to.
There's no chance.
Look, man, again, math.
What the fuck is 1/10 billionth of a foot?
They both hit a home run.
I think it's about my height.
470 feet.
No, 471.6432789110, where the other one was 475.
I don't know, man. I just think that's crazy. We're here. We both got bats. We both got pitchers. Let's figure it out.
The best part is the ease with which they could make that up, and it could never be called into
Correct.
question.
Although, if you were going to make it up, I don't think you make it that close, right? If you're going to make it up, you're saying, oh, actually, Cal Raleigh's went 472 feet.
Yeah, that's an easier fix.
Yeah, and we just
But that again, in going so exact, they do seemingly give themselves, or I mean, at least in my mind, maybe you disagree, but it gives it a sense of legitimacy.
so this sport.
Look at these numbers.
This sport can do that, but in their biggest games coming down the stretch, we'll have a 49-year-old man with bad vision standing behind the plate trying to judge what's going.
That's what it should be.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But if we want to do it that way, the human element. Let's not break out to the 10th decimal point
home run.
when we're doing something as stupid and innocent as the home run derby. I think Brent Rooker getting screwed like that is evidence that Rob Manfred is the worst commissioner in sports.
Yeah.
And I'll ask you if you want to rebut that, you can. Because I have a second major problem with this event.
No, I'm fine with that. I mean, I thought last night was awesome.
Why was there not a horse in the home run derby?
Well, that's an oversight kind of on athletics in general.
Why
There's not
was-
a lot of horse representation outside of equestrian racing?
Why was it humans only?
I mean,
These are questions you got to ask.
I was wondering the same thing.
Do you
in the
think
NFL Pro Bowl Skills Challenge?
Do you think Mr. Ed would have hit more home runs than Jazz Chisholm last night?
I think he would have been less.
If we put
aggressive.
a bat in a
He wasn't trying.
horse's mouth.
He wasn't trying.
He wasn't trying. Let the record.
Why was he there?
He did kind of have like a too cool for school attitude last night. It felt like he was just kind of just swinging, taking a batting practice.
So it's timed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you get in the first, in the first 30 to 45 seconds what kind of day you're going to have, right? I think if you get to like 2 minutes and 15 seconds, and you don't have like 4 or 5, or you can tell you just got to be too cool for school. You got to it naturally in your mind something takes over. You're like, okay, I got to save this somehow. I got to look.
Maybe, but see, so maybe that's the natural instinct fueled by like pride.
That's kind of the way we run and hide. Is just we. Oh
yeah, I don't care.
Yeah,
but again, I don't like that as a spectator.
Nobody does.
Yeah. We want to see sincere failure. We want to see you try and fail, and that's more respectable than wrapping yourself up in the cloak of, well, I never really cared anyway. Well, you didn't care because you knew you didn't have it.
Thoughts about the Yankees absolutely ruining this event, TJ?
What does that mean?
He plays for the Yankees, right?
He ruined the event?
I thought so.
I think he was maybe the 10th biggest issue about the event.
What was number one?
The rules.
Brent Rooker got screwed.
If you're a person like a kid or a newer baseball fan, and you're trying to get explained how this event works, it should be whoever hits the most home runs wins. I don't understand how it's a round of 8 and the top 4 advance, and it's this amount of time, and they get this amount of pitches, and if they run out of either it's over, and then after that, but it's not over because they get 3 more pitches, but they might get 4 more pitches if they hit one more than 425 feet. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
fuck
understand how they came to this rule. There was like 90 numbers on screen at all times last night. I don't understand how all of it was bad.
The timing is just a little too tight.
No.
Because the bonus round was like kind of awesome because you could just like
Bonus
sit
round-
back.
The bonus round is the
It
game.
felt-
That's the derby.
But also, I do kind of like the idea of like you get 40 guaranteed like pitches or 40 guaranteed swings or something of that manner.
But then
'Cause
don't also put it on a clock.
I don't like timing. Baseball's not timed.
Right.
It's famously not timed.
Okay, so this is what I was going to ask, though, because I'm with you. Like I said, I think it's maybe good for the competition, but struggles in the viewership aspect. But do we have the attention span for a slower
That first round lasted 2 hours, didn't it?
pitch by pitch?
I think if you tell them it's not 10 outs, it's 40 pitches, you know that is a time that will end. Whereas like 10 outs could take
Could go forever.
any amount of time.
But the
between
best home run derby
a
of
minute,
all
yeah.
time, in everyone's mind, maybe it's 99, but in the modern era is 2008 when Josh Hamilton went forever. Like that was like the best derby moment ever. So people like that.
Technically, though, within this setting, somebody could catch fire in that bonus round and go forever. Like they could with those. It's 4 pitches. It's almost half of a normal, an old school home run derby round. If you go over 4,
I did like the bonus round for the knockout stage setup because there was like once the second guy went, obviously Junior Caminero just kind of like shit on Buxton, but it's like in the final, like Cal Raleigh hit his 19 homers,
18 or
whatever,
19.
and then Junior's there with like 15 going into the bonus round.
Yeah.
It's like he's got 4 swings, and it's like, oh, there's like a pressure of the moment kind of thing where you feel like there's going to be a suspenseful thing. Obviously, he didn't get enough homers to make it interesting. But I
Well, it's
do
like
think
Matt
that's a cool
Olson
approach.
had that round where he finishes on fire. He goes into the bonus round looking like he may catch Raleigh, and then he just falls short in those pitches. By the way, Eddie Perez.
Yeah.
So did Matt Olson. I thought that was cool. Mm-hmm. I don't know anything about the Braves.
I would just get rid of the clock. I would just say
clock,
I would say 40 swings or 40 pitches.
It makes the broadcast worse because also like the rule that you can't throw a pitch until the previous ball lands is the most unfollowed rule in all of sports. Man.
Oh, that was a rule? That was definitely not
That's
the case.
technically a rule. Is you're not
they
supposed to be
were-
able
no,
to
yeah,
start a pitch until the previous one lands.
They were not doing that.
No, the 2 balls were in the air at almost at almost all times.
Well, let's talk about the most important element of the home run derby every single year, and it is the absolute herd of children in the outfields.
Oh, what a
Just
legend.
getting in each other's way, stepping on each other, catching balls. Now, did we have the greatest highlight of all time from those guys last night? Is that what has happened?
I can't think of any off the top of my head that would beat it.
If you're in that outfield, you're dreaming of one thing and one thing only, correct?
Yeah.
What are you dreaming of, Connor?
Dive and catch.
Robbing a home run.
Robbing a home run?
Diving catch would be right beneath. But no, scaling the wall and
Yeah, robbing a home run.
stealing one.
You don't think that'd be the number one thing you're thinking about?
I feel
There's been plenty of diving catches from kids through the years.
Look at him.
I've never seen a kid straight up go over the wall and take one back.
But again, I do think this home run counted.
It did
I
count.
think
It
that
should not have.
Oh, it did?
They
Yeah,
went
ended-
back
yes,
and
they ended
reviewed
up
it,
counting it.
but it happened
Do you
so
think it was
fast.
short?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it was short. I think it was going over.
You just think because it was
I think it
robbed.
was hitting the yellow.
I did. RDT, good friend of the show. I think he tweeted out that they should just have like Denzel Clark and like the best
Yeah, the
fielders
best.
in baseball just all sit on the warning track and like actually act as like
Real
defense.
like defense.
Yeah.
Defense derby. Mm-hmm. And let them earn points for.
Yeah.
And if it's at Fenway, make like a big scaffold and the guy stands up there.
No, just a giant human pyramid. A bunch of kids on each other's shoulders. A trench coat style.
It is. Is it not weird that we have the best hitters in baseball? We're throwing them meatballs, and we just let like 14-year-olds or 12-year-olds run around the outfield.
It's like the best part about
it is.
entire event.
It's so funny.
Who didn't fantasize as a child about being in that outfield?
Yeah.
I don't know how you get to be in it. I don't know what the connections are or what the process is, but man, that is an unforgettable memory getting to shag those balls.
All right, I did tell Blutman that he needed to barge in here at 10:19 today. He is right on time. Yesterday, we had a guest who just kept telling stories yesterday.
Yeah, talking motherfucker.
And talking about hot chicks. Let me tell you something. We've been doing this show 2
It's
years.
an old man's prerogative to talk about hot volleyball.
We've been doing this show for 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Him continually not interrupting, but asking, well, were they hot? Is one of my favorite little subplots we've ever had on the show. That was one of my favorite because we're telling the whole story. It's got characters and subplots and all. He's just like, whoa. What they look like?
What are they wearing? In bikinis? or like maybe like short shorts? Like what are we talking about?
All right, Blutman, I asked you to come in here. You have a 10-minute window that you could barge today, correct?
Yep, that's correct.
All right. Now, yesterday we were busy and we skipped over a pretty good, epic, maybe it's short of epic, but a pretty good Wimbledon men's tennis final, correct?
Pretty good, yeah.
Now go ahead. You have the floor to talk tennis.
Yeah, Wimbledon was pretty dope. See what I did there?
Wimbledon.
No, hold on. What did he
Wimbledon
I
was
don't know.
pretty dope.
Hold on.
do? What is dope?
Like dope.
Oh no, the
Drug.
guy that won it is a drug guy,
Jannik?
right? Steroids.
Oh, he
Yeah,
got in trouble for doping.
I don't think he's in trouble. He's not in trouble in my book, but the woman's winner also
They're both
correct. But hers, again, I think they're both innocent. Whatever, it was just playing into the joke. Iga Swiatek dominated 6-0, 6-0 double bagel. She won. She bageled the final 3 sets of her tournament. Pretty unbelievable. She got hit for a contaminated melatonin. See, like clean in my book.
Yeah.
To be fair, you can't. I mean, if that's actually what happened, I mean, they do teach that you cannot. If it's not in an NSF certified facility, there is always a risk of cross contamination because so many different supplement companies all share these giant vats. Now, I think that beleaguers belief a little bit. I'm not saying I'm with her or against her, but that is why you're supposed to buy NSF certified products.
Which one of y'all said the other day that somebody got busted for steroids for kissing somebody that had steroids?
Oh, that was me. I was talking about that. Yeah, so the excuse was that, and it got upheld. Like they were like, "You're right. Actually, you're fine." It was a fencer, and she was from kissing her. I don't know if it was a boyfriend or a girlfriend, but from kissing her significant other, she proved that she got cross contaminated with something that they were taking and not her.
Men's final, Blutman.
Yeah,
continue?
I mean, that's pretty close to what happened to Jannik Sinner. His physio took a steroid cream, which we know is close to ball, which I have in my apartment for eczema. So his physio took that.
Mario Clostebol?
Yes, there was a steroid cream, the close to ball. There was a blood contamination between the physio and Sinner. Sinner ends up with 1/1000th of a gram of the close to ball in his
come on,
system.
man.
Just the home run derby?
I mean, like what are we doing? 1/1000th of a gram? We're serious about that, playa? No, not in my book. Clean.
So when you're taking Clostebol blood and you're watching college football, do you find yourself just instinctually calling for bad late game decisions?
No, I feel like my performance isn't even enhanced. I feel like the same old guy.
Is Jannik Sinner the best name for a tennis player in the history of the sport or the worst? I can't decide if
Sinner's on demon time's pretty cool to say.
My problem with Jannik Sinner is he's the most un-Italian looking Italian I've ever seen. Like I think he's from Austria. Like
You
that's
want
kind
him
of
wearing
what
a
his
red
name
hat and running after like
is.
mushrooms?
No. I expect my Italianos to have
He was
beautiful,
dressed up like a
curly-
Luigi
yes,
at the
and
French Open.
have it a beautiful, long and curly, like dark hair. But he kind of looks like Connor.
No,
He looks Austrian.
I mean, grew up.
He's
in
got
like
great eyebrows?
Great eyebrows.
He got good flow. Flow used to be longer. He grew up in the northern part of Italy. He grew up.
Up there it's like, it's up in the mountains, right?
Yeah, they're mountain
like
people.
his mom speaks,
Dolomites.
like they speak German and everything, and he was an avid
That-
skier.
To be fair,
That
he
part
looks
used to
more
be Germany, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
he was like an elite skier and almost went pro in skiing, and was like, let me give the tennis a full go.
to be fair, this is just me being very stereotypical about what I expect an Italian man to be.
Sure. Getting almost to pro in skiing and then becoming a pro in tennis is like the white fecta. It's like just being, man, this is an elite white dude right here.
he
This is
ever
one of our best.
Golf, perhaps, maybe just throw a dash in there. That'll be when he gets older.
Yeah.
He'll become like a borderline pro scratch golfer just because.
I mean, we were desperate. We were malnourished. We were hungry for a top tier ginger athlete again. I'm happy that we got one.
He's ginger?
Yeah,
I thought he was
definitely.
blonde.
No,
ginger.
He was strawberry blonde.
Full on
you can
ginger.
see it.
I thought he was strawberry blonde.
Full on ginger, and we're proud he's on our team.
Who was the last great ginger
Andy
athlete?
Dalton, Sean White.
Wow, so it has been a while. Flying Tomato was a
Ballerini.
fucking beast.
Yeah,
that is
Sean
true.
White was the man. Just
Is he the
drinking
greatest
Mountain
ginger
Dew,
of all time?
baby.
Kevin Herter.
Mark McGuire?
Kevin Herter might be the best basketball.
Oh, Mark McGuire. Mark Grant, he took steroids. Come on.
He took close to me.
Well, so did Sinner.
That
Close
was
to
the
ball.
joke.
He was kissing people.
Wait, so are you? Are you? So is it Sean White,
Probably
Best of all
but
time?
Sinner will overtake
Best
him.
ginger of all time?
athlete, best ginger athlete of all
Blake
time?
Griffin.
Is Carrot Top one of
Yeah.
the most iconic gingers, but not the even close to the best ginger?
God, doesn't Carrot Top make you just a little uncomfortable?
It's
To
tough.
look at his vibes, his Vegas advertisements that are
I've
all over the
stood.
strip.
He was a dozen participant one time.
Oh wow,
He was our guest on our dozen team, and he was something.
Yeah.
He was something.
It's the go-to joke when I'm walking around the strip for people to go up to me and call me Carrot Top.
Yeah.
It's
Why do
tough.
they do
I'm
that?
sure that doesn't get old at all.
No, you gotta wonder why they do it, Brand. I don't see the
When you
result.
wear a hat and your hair cascades out, and it almost like connects with your beard, and you're just surrounded by red hair.
It looks
Yeah,
fantastic. It
I'm
looks like
usually
Tormund
surrounded
Giants.
by
man.
red hair.
All right, you got to go.
Is it time?
Where you gotta go?
I got a meeting. We do meetings here.
It's a meeting.
Yeah, what do you want? Magnus Carlsen's talking. MSI was great.
What did Magnus say?
What's he saying? What's that?
Well, Magnus was the thing that we were talking about over break.
Oh, I mean, he won a massive tournament with all the best players in the world, and he was like, I played like shit, but my B game's good enough to win if nobody else is bringing it. Like, how you could say that with the smartest chess players in the world just boggles the mind.
Are you aware that we have a chess cam now?
Yeah, that's sick.
Okay.
It's
We need to get a
really
game
cool.
into
I
them.
like at the end the episode when TJ Panther like he is dead now. It's really cool.
Wait, do you agree with this? So I've started to pick apart Pick Six previews. I did a general overview.
Do you have the hard copy or
Not hard. It should be in the mail soon, but the PDF is officially released.
Yeah.
And so I've been doing a general overview, and now I'm going team by team to really lock it all in.
Yeah.
Here are his Big Ten preseason rankings.
Oh God.
Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon. By the way, Connor, you'll be happy to know.
Do you want to skip this segment, TJ?
I felt that deep in my soul.
Oh no!
We can,
I was at Rutgers. Hey, Rutgers, maybe.
I would say like
skip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Veto.
By the way, overall, he likes Penn State to win the Natty.
I do too.
Should absolutely be the best
In
team.
hockey,
Yes, exactly.
That too.
No, he's got Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon, top 3 in the Big Ten,
Yep.
and then Michigan, USC, tied for 4.
Okay, so he's not buying he's not drinking the Illinois Kool-Aid that a lot of
Well,
people
so kind of, yeah, no, he has Illinois down at 8, citing kind of close games,
Yeah.
and even though they return a lot of people, they kind of play, like they just had all these incredible late game moments. Can you replicate that? Indiana, Nebraska, Washington, Illinois are your 6 through 8,
so Washington's 7.
tied for 8.
I got my eyes on
They're trying to fight to get into that. Like the Big Ten seems like it is tiers.
I got eyes on Nebraska this year.
I got oodles of eyes on Washington.
Jetfish.
Yeah. DeMond Williams. You got Boston's going to be one of the best shooters in the country. Coleman's an elite running back. They got a nasty 1-2-3.
DeMond Williams got a little Bryce Young in him.
DeMond Williams got a lot of game that people aren't ready to talk
Can
about.
you go back to so obviously the top 3 were the top 3.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I think it's tiers,
And
right?
then do the next 2.
And then Michigan, USC tied.
Now there's one. They're
USC is very interesting to me.
I think they're both interesting. I think Michigan got by last year on the remnants of that great defense. Still had how many first round picks do they have this year? Like 3 or 4 off that defense.
Yeah.
Those guys are gone now. So now they're going to have a bad offense, and the defense is finally going to be worse. So I don't know that I share the optimism, but they do have the 5-star quarterback. Now USC is somebody who's just like, I feel like they're moving silently in the dark here. I don't know.
And what like in a positive?
Well, they got
way?
Maya. Make sure I say it right. Maivia.
Jay Mayava,
Mayava. Thank you very much.
who's a Caleb Williams cosplayer.
So you think he can
I
replicate?
think that's what he wants to be. That's what they want him to be. That's not at all where he's gotten close to.
They've lost Kyron Hudson. I think they were still that the receiver room was loaded and everything.
They lost the Branch.
But
Branch Bros were the most overrated, over-talked about players in the entire country.
I think Zachariah was completely underutilized.
Oh, okay.
He didn't get to play near his max potential.
We could be saying the same thing with underutilized and overrated. I just mean that the amount of talk about him versus the production, whether that's due to him or due to the scheme,
I think it's
way
due to
too
Lincoln
much.
Riley being a little idiot.
that seems high for USC, is what I'm trying to say.
I agree.
I would agree with that, yeah.
I'm inclined to agree.
I
It's
think Washington's too low.
time for you to leave.
Yeah, I gotta go. Sorry. Good talk.
All right,
Washington's too low there. Also, Signetti.
What about
Oh yeah.
This is it's pathetic.
They canceled the Virginia game, and now they're playing Austin P.
It's getting
And
pathetic.
And listen, hey,
It's in 2 years.
history is going to judge me very correctly on this
The
Indiana
home and
bullshit.
home with Virginia has been canceled.
They're
No way,
pussies.
dude. No way.
No, come on. We
they're
can't
gonna
call
be-
them pussies for not going on the road to play Scott Stadium.
Then why did they back out of it?
Because who the
Play
fuck
Austin
wants
Peay.
to go play at Virginia?
No, it is. I mean, to be fair, and I love Signetti, and I think Indiana's going to be a top 25 team. I think it is objectively cowardice. Like there's no real way around it. Like, don't play Austin P instead of fucking Virginia. You have to take the approach with your team that, look, we'll play anybody, anywhere, anytime. We don't give a fuck.
But that's not their approach. Their approach is we will beat all the teams on their schedule we're better than, and the ones we're worse than, we're going to fall behind by 30, but God damn it, we're going to make it look closer than it was at the end.
An admittedly small sample size for that, but that take stands correct until proven otherwise.
There are people that will sit here and look you dead in the eye and say, well, Indiana played Notre Dame closer than Georgia did. No, they didn't. It was 27-3 within the 2-minute warning, and then they scored 2 touchdowns. It didn't matter.
And they couldn't get out of their own way against Ohio State. They couldn't
Yeah.
handle the pass rush. They give the punt return touchdown right for half. I mean, you can't give if you're trying to affect an upset, there are certain things you cannot do, and allowing a special teams touchdown is one of them.
Feels like you guys are sneak dissing Kadick right now.
You can stick Kadick right on that bench and kiss the fuck out of him.
The thing is, I was maybe the South's biggest Indiana advocate last year. I went to the fucking mat for them, but I'm going to call it like I see it in any given situation. And yeah, the scheduling shit is cowardly. And I didn't love how Signetti, instead of playing to win in those big games, played not to lose badly.
Yeah.
Especially in the playoffs. If you want to argue Ohio State, like, okay, resume, blah,
Because
blah,
he's still
sure.
against Ohio State, he's still trying to maintain their spot and still trying to
Yes.
get into the playoffs.
Yes.
And at that time, we thought, can Indiana afford this? Will Alabama pass them? Because Alabama didn't have the third loss yet. But at that time, that made some sense. Against Notre Dame,
There's no
to come
excuse.
out of that being like, well, people thinking like, oh, they played. No, they were no.
I have a text from an anonymous Indiana fan,
Okay.
and I would love to get your take on it about this
So
situation.
what does White Boy Rick have to say?
It was not White Boy Rick. From an Indiana fan. No need to schedule hard non-con opponents when the SEC won't even add a conference game like they said they would.
No, see that
Until the committee
this
makes a
is-
real decision on who you need
Stop.
to play, there's no need.
I'm fine. I've heard enough. Stop talking.
Win easy non-con games and win your Big Ten games and
I didn't
playoffs
say,
every year.
but nobody said, sorry, you go first, bro.
Here's the thing. I am, because I have a Southern accent, people think I'm this SEC homer. And
Me too.
There will be moments where I do advocate for the SEC. There will be moments I advocate against it. Like this year, I don't think the SEC is going to be as strong as the Big Ten. I'll say what I think. I think the other conferences bitching and whining about 9-game conference schedules is it is absolute a bullshit argument. It's a straw man. It's everything. It is bullshit and fake. There are most years, not every year, I'll give you a little bit, but there are most years where an 8-game SEC schedule is way more difficult than a 9-game ACC, Big 12, and some years even a Big 10 schedule. It just is.
Yeah.
Like Mississippi State, for example, last year, we played 8 conference games.
Oh,
We played 6 top 10 teams. We played 6 top 10 teams last year. Played 4 playoff teams. Like, you can't get that kind of strength in the schedule in 3 seasons in the ACC or the Big 12. So all these conferences whining about the 8-game. An 8-game SEC schedule is plenty difficult enough. There are exceptions like Texas last year. Texas got an easy road last year. But I think that's a bad faith argument where people are saying, well, the SEC's cowards because they won't play 9 games. You fucking try to play 9 SEC games.
Well, and also, I mean, even you can even move it a step further in that, like, nobody said need to, but if Indiana really wants to be considered a top 25 team, one of the badass teams, which it seems like they do have the potential to be, you got to be willing to go to Virginia and play them. Like, I'm sorry, if you're not going.
What's scaring you about Virginia?
If you're going to back off from Virginia, I'm going to call you a bitch.
Yeah.
Like,
what the fuck is scaring you about Virginia?
And I didn't say need. You can play wherever the fuck you want. But, like, you have to accept. If you act like a coward, you can't get mad if people call you a coward.
Like that
It may be smart. It may be strategically smart. It's still cowardice.
That Indiana fan is that's the pussiest thing I've ever heard. Oh, see, we can just get rid of that. We'll just play a couple of bad non-conference games and we'll do okay. We'll win the games we can in the Big Ten and look okay in the others. Like, that's what they did last year.
That's a Signetti thing.
That's self-limiting talk right there.
Also, I think if you play 8 games in conference and you add the extra one out of conference, it's actually very good for proving your point that the rest of your schedule is very difficult.
I like Cannell. Listen, I'm not going to say this a whole lot. Danny Cannell, I thought, had a pretty good one today. When Danny Cannell said, you know what, the SEC is just not going to go to 9 conference games. Doesn't seem like they're in a hurry to. Let's just all play 8 conference games and mandate that you have to play 2 more Power 4 teams. So now everybody is playing across the board 10 Power 4 games. They're playing 8 in conference.
Yes.
They're playing 2 outside of conference. I think that's a better product. I think you're getting the 8 in conference, and then you're getting more overlap between leagues, and you're able to see some cross-pollination a little bit more. I think that's a fantastic proposal by Danny Cannell.
It makes it
What's 9 ACC games prove to anybody?
Nothing.
It doesn't prove a goddamn thing. What's 9 Big 12 games do for anybody?
Georgia Tech playing like Indiana in non-conference, like I would find that very interesting and enthralling. Like, the melting pot of college football needs to exist. It can't just be these silos of SEC, Big 10, all these Power 4 teams. Like, we need the mix. Like, it's good for finding out who's actually good out of the conference.
Yeah.
It's good for like computer models to basically be like, oh, like we have more
for
information.
Everyone, it makes fucking money.
As the Power 4.
People watch those games. Those games do crazy ratings. I mean, look, Cody just texted here. The opening weekend, we get Texas, Ohio State at noon, Alabama, Florida State 3:30, LSU, Clemson at 7:30, Utah, UCLA at 11. Like, are you kidding me? And there's a lot of the top teams. That's another thing about Indiana. Like, even Michigan, who famously scheduled bullshit en route to the back-to-back national championship appearances, even they last year tested themselves and had Texas come to the big house.
They got Oklahoma this year.
And they got Oklahoma. So it's like, a lot of these top teams do challenge themselves. So it's not even like you can use that excuse. Anyway, so Power 4.
Yeah, I think Clemson's a great example. Clemson's playing the ACC on a year-to-year basis, not a strong conference, but they'll go out and play. They'll go out and play Georgia. They'll go out and play LSU. They'll go out and do these things, and I think they're better for it.
Are you fair with 8 2 non-conference power games, I guess?
As the Power 4 consolidates, we're headed towards a future where the Power 4 is going to break off and be its own thing.
I think the G5 is shrinking down to maybe a G4 too,
or a G6, because now we got the Pac 6 in there.
True.
I think we're headed towards a world where the Power 4 is one entity in college football, and the G5 is a separate one with their own playoff and their own everything. I think we're headed to that in 10, 15 years. I think that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
If you're
Like G5 playoffs,
Like
I think we would all watch and love.
If you're Memphis, like, can you just imagine being the big dog in the G5? Like Boise, all these. Anyway,
You have a Final Four of like Tulane, Memphis,
App
Boise,
State.
App State. Like that sounds like awesome college.
yeah, I am there.
Yes.
I am all. Anyway, we're headed towards consolidation of the Power Four. I think we could be headed towards a world where the Power Four teams are just playing 12 Power Four teams every year, and they are their own thing, kind of like the NFL playing cross-pollinate with NFC, AFC. Anyway, I'm going to talk about DraftKings. I got another college football thing for you, though.
Yeah.
That was some good, invigorating college football talk.
I got another college football thing for Connor, too.
Where was Rutgers on that list?
But we'll get there. Rutgers. Okay, that's what I was going to say, Teach.
You were shy about it seconds ago.
Not so bad. Rutgers came in tied for 13th.
Why is everybody tied? Make a call.
He had a lot of ties. Michigan State, UCLA, and Rutgers, he all ranked in the 13th spot. Then Northwestern, Maryland, and Purdue rounding out the bottom. Iowa at 10, which I get it on paper, but that just feels like classic doubt Iowa and Ferentz at your own. Is it Ferentz or Ferentz? I go back and forth. Ferentz.
It's Ferentz.
Iowa and Ferentz, doubt them at your own risk. I mean, Minnesota 11, which again I understand, but flex seems to kind of. I mean, Wisconsin at 12 is fucking crazy. Not because I disagree, but because
Pickle just hasn't done a great job yet.
Yeah.
Somebody in that Big Ten middle class is going to make it out. Not to that top 3, but maybe to that 4 spot and fight for a playoff spot.
Can I say something that I don't? It feels an awful lot, and I like Brett. I like Pick 6. It feels like an awful lot like that tier was done simply on recruiting rankings.
So
with USC and Michigan 4 and 5 ahead of Illinois and ahead of Indiana, like it feels like it was done simply on recruiting rankings.
So I will say this: nothing in this is done simply to the point where I am still trying to wrap my head around all of the different systems that he has in play. He does look at 5-year recruiting rankings, absolutely. 5-year transfer portal rankings, absolutely. But he also looks at player development where you have your recruiting rankings for like these 5 years in the next, like how many get drafted, win conversion, your recruiting rankings versus your total wins, your game grader, which is like on a game by game basis, looks at like yardage differential, turnover margin, yards per play, opponent adjustment, pace adjustment, scoring margin, adjust for opponent. So there is a lot that goes in to the equation, but admittedly, like all of college football, recruiting still is the foundation of everything. You can overperform, you can underperform.
Right.
But like recruiting remains the bedrock upon which previews will be built.
But recruiting is the lifeblood of a program.
Yes.
Recruiting rankings are not.
So
you can have a great class that isn't. If you're Wisconsin, if you're Illinois, you can have a great class that is the foundation of turning your program around without it being a highly rated class.
So I agree. So I think two things. First, I've said this for years, and it's interesting because he said the same thing. Brett did as well. Is that recruiting in the micro doesn't matter. Individual guys go boom bust all the time, whatever.
Yeah.
Macro, I think it does. I think team rankings do matter. You can still have a special class like that, but if you ever want to really break through, or you become like, okay, let's look.
My issue with that is you can point at the Georgias and the Ohio States and the Alabamas of the world and say they recruit at the top and they're always at the top, and that is true. You have to recruit at the top to be at the top. My issue becomes with the teams that recruit at or near the top and never get there. USC is a top 10, 15 recruiter every year, and they're going 7 and 5 every fucking year.
So that is where I think recruiting rankings allow us to accurately criticize or laud coaches.
Yeah.
Because you can see who's doing more with less, and you can see who's doing less with more.
Yeah.
And Lincoln Riley at USC has been a disaster in that regard. I thought this was kind of interesting in terms of player development. So you kind of recruiting rankings versus the NFL draft picks, which again, in a stat like that, the teams that recruit the best are going to be more in the middle because those guys are expected to be that good anyway. But like Illinois, actually number 1 ranked team in terms of taking lesser guys
and developing them
and turning them into NFL players. Kansas State, number 2. And these are themes that, to your point, we have seen play out on the football field. Mm-hmm. So I see that. I'm like, okay, Kleeman, Bielema, they can take 2 stars and 3 stars and make them outperform expectations.
You're just not great at coach pronunciations, huh?
Is it Kleiman?
It's Kleiman.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
I've been saying Kleeman for years.
I'm pretty sure. Should we go through the whole country and?
Well, I know Kalani Sitake.
You got that one.
Yeah,
You nailed that one.
exactly.
Any come to mind? What's a coach with a pronunciation that might be? By the way, have you seen Hugh Freeze?
You mean Pat Narduzzi?
No.
Next, you're going to tell me it's not Narduzzi.
Have you?
Or Matt Campbell?
All right.
Okay.
Get in the game. Best Ball is live at DraftKings. $15 million is on the line with real stakes, real excitement. Best Ball is the biggest fantasy contest at DraftKings. We're talking a $15 million guaranteed prize pool with 2 millionaires being crowned for first and second place. Play season-long fantasy football the DraftKings way. With Best Ball, there's no waiver wires, no roster management. You get bigger rosters, so injuries will not end your season. Just draft your team, and you're set. If a shot at winning a share of $15 million isn't enough to get you excited, check this out. DraftKings is offering everyone a draft one, get one special. Your $20 entry fee scores you a bonus ticket. Download the DraftKings app. Use code FAMILY. That's code FAMILY for all customers who enter the NFL Best Ball $15 million It's million back-to-back. $15 million millionaire contest to get a bonus ticket and get a shot at being crowned one of 2 millionaires. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. College football.
Can I? Okay.
What?
You go. You do yours first, then I want to ask Connor something.
Well, we have. Give me a 30-second timeout. I got to ask Connor something. Connor?
Hello?
Would you like, at this moment, to have a soapbox to get up on to talk about people at this desk not wearing a Barstool shirt that absolutely put you on blast and took a personal text message of yours and put it out to the world and made it seem like you were sowing discord among your team? Because we had yesterday, somebody sent it to me, a YouTube commenter from, I'm not going to say her name even though she did it publicly.
Yeah.
Her name was Sarah.
Yeah, sure.
So Sarah is on your team, so claimed to be on your volleyball team. Yeah. And basically said, this is bullshit. Connor, you can take it from here, but she basically said your stance on the girls being terrible.
Said he's not a reliable narrator.
Right.
You're full of fucking shit is what she said.
Yes.
Thoughts?
To which I told Sarah, she doesn't fucking understand show business. Sometimes things get exaggerated. Sometimes,
That's a great way. So you were like, listen here, broad.
Yeah, like
you don't
mansplain it to her.
Not only do you suck ass at volleyball,
Luke comes on here.
Listen here, woman.
Yeah, Luke said, things that he said, and of course he's making stuff feel a little bit more exaggerated because he's playing to the camera. Like once the cameras are on, truth kind of goes out the window. So she was very upset about the whole situation, about Luke, what he said, and then she doesn't even. I won't go into it. Point stands. I just don't think a lot of the people on my team, the guys all thought it was hysterical. The girls were obviously a little bit let down.
You deepen the misogyny with every additional sentence you add to this story. I mean, it's unbelievable.
But I had to explain to the group, and I think we're at a good point now. Like things are done up a little bit and exaggerated, and it's what I say on the show. There's truth to it for sure. Don't get me wrong about the volleyball team, but I also play it up a little bit more than what it is. And also to Sarah, she put me on blast for being a little bit late to the game.
Wow.
I was about 3 minutes late.
Okay, well,
what she doesn't know,
late is late.
What she doesn't know, and I had to divulge this in the group chat, which I was going to hold back from because there are women in there. I didn't want to gross anybody out. I got struck with a massive strike of diarrhea.
God damn it, Connor. What?
As I was walking to the game, and I had to take a pit stop at Jewel Osco. So
you had diarrhea at Jewel Osco on the way to the game?
Yes.
Wait, those are the bathrooms where you have to like walk through the back meat storage and stuff. And
yes.
Grocery store bathroom.
If you go to a grocery store bathroom, you are down fucking bad.
You are in trouble.
You are down bad, but they do tend to be pretty private.
Yeah.
And a lot of them can be well maintained. They got a large workforce.
Why do you have such a stance on this?
I handed out gift cards in front of a grocery store.
What?
Every Friday for the last 7 years of my life. I know grocery store bathrooms exceedingly well.
Yeah.
Everything that's not on the floor of the grocery store, the manager's office, the back, all that is the most depressing place on earth.
I feel like a lot of good banter goes
stale air. There's a lot of stale air.
A lot of cool air.
Yeah.
But I mean, also that's where the teens are getting together and ripping vapes and talking about how much they hate their job. And did you see that ginger dude just shit himself coming in?
It was bad.
I mean, it's great.
So anyway, in conclusion, with Sarah, my words get twisted. You guys gang up on me. Stories evolve into bigger things than what they actually are. So
I have
the team was in disarray yesterday. I think we're at a fine spot right
Brandon, we have the ability to blow Connor's entire spin zone up here.
Yeah. Well, you already are the one that put him on blast in the first place.
Okay, I don't know how. I heard you say that with that non-Barstool shirt comment there. We're going to move on because that's...
Well, you brought it up. I never brought it up the other day. You brought it up.
You literally asked me before the show.
But then the text gets
exactly
thrown out there.
Before the show, I did nothing that happens before the show is counts at all.
So therein lies, though, the fatal flaw in your spin is that the original message was sent off-air, non-show business
That's
to the
true.
group.
Yeah, to the boys.
In a sincere, true moment.
Which I think it's only fair that with all of you now moving forward, I can dox one of your messages that you send me.
I think, okay.
Wait, is that, you're threatening us?
Hold on. Before this gets out of control, I'll apologize. I should have asked.
No, it's okay.
I should have asked ahead of time if exposing the texts were okay.
No, let him follow through on his little hollow threat.
that's okay.
No, go ahead. Dox one of our messages.
I was joking. I'm not going to do that.
I'll get out ahead of it.
Maybe.
What were you saying about the Middle
older,
East?
thicker Jennifer Love Hewitt. Okay? I fucking love her.
This needs to be shown.
I am head over heels. I am not trying to be gross. Talking about another woman, maybe I'm falling into that, but
You don't have to sell us, by the way. You seem to be trying to sell.
no. I
think
guess
we're all in
I
agreement
feel
with you.
bad. I don't always love, despite what you may have saw my dad yesterday. I don't always love talking about women's physical appearance publicly. I think it'd be a little whatever, but I'm just in love. I was in love growing up, and now I'm more in love than I've ever been. That shape is just she's stunning. She's stunning. God, it makes me hungry.
Hungry?
One more.
My tummy's rumbling.
One more thing on the volleyball thing. The girls did watch yesterday's show, and then they heard your dad constantly be like, "But are they hot?" And they're like, "Yeah, we got to tune out.
Yeah,
we can't keep watching."
Were they mad that you didn't step up and say, yeah, they're hot?
They were mad about that. But also, they're my friends. I can't say. I felt
You should be singing the praises of all your friends. That's what friends are for.
Do you not tell them that we're hot?
Connor is
I got
really
these
know.
fucking smoke show
Dude,
coworkers.
You're not even going to believe it.
he's in a whirlwind of rock in a hard place right now.
Yeah.
There's not much you can do at this point
No.
beyond keep it moving forward. I just
Just take me to the mental state of walking past a Jewel Osco and being like,
That was the only detour.
looks like this is it. This is where I got to go.
I think the relief from realizing that there is an option far outweighs whatever shame may have driven you there in the first place. It's much better than, holy shit, I'm in bumper to bumper traffic and I got 20 minutes left before I get to my spot.
I think you got to see the bathroom before that relief shows up.
Yeah, for sure.
I think you got to see what you're dealing with.
Yeah, I did have to wait for somebody to get out of the
Now
stall
that
first.
sucks. That's awful.
And I was
Because your body's already ready to get out the gates.
Yeah.
Like a racehorse at that point. You got to say, hold up now. We got to reload. Somebody bit a jockey.
What's your college football thing? I'll do mine.
I was just going to ask Connor how it feels to have the expectation that James Franklin and Penn State are currently operating under.
Yeah.
I mean, it is insane. You want to talk about not having a single excuse. Penn State is easily the most complete team in America roster, top to bottom.
Yep.
The one weakness you did have at wide receiver, you have overwhelmingly improved at. You have a third-year starting 5-star quarterback, a pair of All-American running backs. You have two of the best coordinators in football.
Yeah.
It's a weird spot to be, though, because it's going to foster anger within your community. Because
there's already a lot of anger.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But the expectation now is such that nothing's going to make you happy except the thing that's hardest to do in the sport. And so this entire year for you is going to be fighting against, can we reach this level of expectation that we've created? It's a tough place to be, actually.
No, it's not. It is very much not.
Why? If you win an SEC, game,
100
decide yourself.
129 other schools would trade spots with them right now. They are in the best spot. They have gone through the wars, and they have built and built and built, and they have gotten this roster to where it needs to be. They've gotten the roster to where Ohio State had their roster last year. All right? This is where you strive to be, and if they end up losing, that's a tough spot. But goddamn it, you don't think about it like that. You go into the season, it's time. Ryan Day hadn't won a national title until he finally broke through. So get rid of all that. James Franklin can't win the big one. Nobody can win the big one until they win the fucking big one.
Yes.
Okay? Dabo went through it. Kirby Smart went through it. Everybody goes through it. Okay? And this is the team that you dream about having. And this is the team Penn State has. Now, if you go 9-3 and miss the playoff, we're gonna fucking laugh at you. But you ain't gonna go 9-3 and miss the playoff.
Absolutely not.
Good.
The one
Tight
thing
butthole does amazing things to a man.
I have been like teetering back and forth on what exactly the expectation should be.
It is national title or bust.
Correct.
Duh.
I understand that. 100%.
Also,
can they national title and bust?
that's what Ohio State did last year.
Yeah.
True.
They busted.
So, but
like, would you be fine with 10-2? Like, I don't know, you go 10-2, but
You lose to Oregon and Ohio State, but you end up winning the national title. You
Yes, it's great.
Yeah,
sign up for it, but you don't enjoy it while it's
12-0 lose the national championship. You're like,
I will say that Oregon game, week 5, up to that point, we play nobody. We have 3 cupcakes, and I believe we have a bye.
That's another thing that fucking pisses me off. Like, if you're a Penn State fan, that's boring. Nobody fucking likes that. Play good team.
But that means that Oregon game, at home, white out, at night, when you already have all these people saying, oh, James Franklin can never win the big one, and now you have these massive expectations to win a national championship, you need to win that game.
Yeah.
What's Oregon's coach's name?
Dan Lanning. The best part's going to be when you lose that game.
Right.
And the mental illness just comes roaring to the front. Every insecurity, every doubt you ever had about Franklin, his ability to lead a team to a championship, it is going to be overwhelming. The explosion, just like with Day.
It would be a doomsday scenario.
By the way, I'm all in on this name.
But
I can tell Evo is too.
I love it. Hey, every time he says Franklin, I love Franklin.
He can't. We do not grant him the rank of Franklin until he takes home a championship.
So, but here's my other question to you guys. Obviously, we're talking about going 10-2 and then still winning a national championship. If Penn State goes undefeated, beating Oregon, beating Ohio State on the road, and then winning a Big Ten championship, but at some point deep into the playoff, we lose, we fall short of a national championship, is that a success of a season?
Search your heart.
Yeah.
Search your heart.
That's a successful season.
You know the answer.
I feel like it's going to be a lot of feeling out based on how the games go, especially like 2 years ago when we were up there in like the playoff contention for a while, but our offense was abysmal and we couldn't score 10 points against Ohio State and Michigan. Our record was good, but it didn't feel good at all. Last year we didn't.
But you weren't really there yet.
But last year you could make the case we didn't beat a single elite opponent. It still felt good though. So it's all about.
No, you got a lucky draw last year.
But we played in a way that was fun and exciting, and it felt like we were.
You took a step forward.
Yes.
For this year.
Yeah.
Your quarterback got a year of more seasoning, got some playoff experience, and frankly got the big moment that he failed at that's going to drive this year.
Yes.
So like. I think last year, everything has been building to this year is what I'm trying to say.
Yes, I agree with that. I also think in your hypothetical, winning the Big Ten, beating the big teams, losing in the playoffs or in the national championship, I believe that things can exist in a bit of a quantum state, right? Two things can be true and paradoxical at once, but both still true. And that would technically be a success.
Be one of the greatest Penn State seasons of all time.
But it would feel a failure.
Correct.
And so I think the lesser evil would be what Ohio State did last year, where you lift the trophy at the end, even though you lose to Michigan again and blah, blah, whatever. You're going to be mad about that, but you still have a gym. It's like, you know what a paradoxical season was?
Yeah.
Oklahoma 2 years ago. They beat Texas.
Yeah.
They get 10 wins.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, how could you be happy with that when you beat Texas, that you still allowed Texas to win the Big 12 because you fucked up games that you absolutely should have won?
Then you lost to UCF.
Then you lose. So
Kansas,
it can That's how high. That's what I'm getting at. That's how high the expectation is.
Yeah.
That even beating everybody on your schedule, winning the Big Ten, if you do not win the Natty, that still will be a cold comfort. Look at Oregon last year.
Yeah.
Like, awesome fucking season. How do they feel after just getting embarrassed by Ohio State?
And the one last thing I'll say, going back to the expectation and just how much pressure is on this year, we are not at a state as a program like an Ohio State or like a Georgia where you could just reload the next year and be fully ready to go. We're only here because we've had a lot of people stick around, but all of them are leaving next year.
Yeah.
So that's
take
why
advantage.
it's all
one
in on
big
this
shot,
year.
yeah.
This is the one big shot, and it might be another 3 or 4 years before you could get back to this play.
All right, now
we'll
last night I put out my my top 10 players in college football list. It's just the depths of people's ability to just be a stone cold bitch about college football. It's just
That's why it's great, though.
You put out a list, and then I get 30 DMs from South Carolina fans. Why didn't you put Dylan Stewart on the list? I literally in the video said he's number 11. I thought about putting him on, but he had 6.5 sacks last year. It's not enough production. But anyway, here's my top 10 list.
And everybody's going to be keyed on him this year. There's no longer
other
Tonka
guys,
and
yeah.
everybody else to take the pressure off. Sorry.
So Ryan Williams is a tough one to rank because his production wasn't great last year, but you can see it. Like his
he
second
had
year,
the best plays of the entire season.
correct, and you can see it, and he had enough production that you can project, and then you believe he's going to develop into this year. He's going to be the second best receiver in the country this year. So I got Ryan Williams at 10. Clemson, by the way, you talk about a team it's ready to go. Clemson has 3 guys on this list.
Yeah.
If I went to 20, they'd probably have 2 more. They're loaded. Peter Woods, Spencer Fano, Utah, T.J. Parker at Clemson, Colin Simmons. That's another projection a little bit. Anthony Hill Jr. is a great player for them, but I like Colin Simmons to break through in his sophomore season. Nussmeier, who I had as my number 2 quarterback last week, is number 5. Jeremiah Love, number 4. 3, Cade Klubnik. And I'll never beat the Buckeye Brandon allegations, but these are legitimately the 2 best players in the country. There's just no real 2 ways around it. I don't see any argument that Jeremiah Smith isn't 1 or 2 and that Caleb Downs isn't 1 or 2. I don't see any way. They're not as loaded as they were last year, Ohio State, but they do have the 2 best players in the country.
The only argument to be made there would be maybe flipping the 2.
Yeah, I can see that.
Now I get it. Jeremiah Smith's younger. Caleb Downs, you assume, is going to enter some. When I was thinking about at the end of the first Matrix movie.
Yeah.
When Neo sees the Matrix for what it is, he just sees the code. He can stop bullets fly, all that stuff. All of a sudden, that's what it's like when you have a veteran football player really figure out the game. Because that's how much. And that's not where Jeremiah Smith is going to be at, but that's where Caleb Downs is at this year.
And he was already the most dominant.
Yes, exactly. But now
you
just add another year where he's still playing against guys who are going to be, accountants and mailmen. It's going to be crazy.
So there's my list. Any thoughts about
Bring it up again, Teach. Let me see it.
A lot of people are giving pushback on Cade Klubnik. He was awesome.
Bro, Cade Klubnik was
fucking great.
Insane.
The Texas game.
He had 36 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
I got so much shit for saying he was going to win the Heisman from my LSU fan base. It's just fucking crazy.
I think he had the Louisville game was kind of a, if I remember correctly, a down game for him. But the Texas game
didn't have a down game.
The stretch, the ACC championship game and the Texas game, he was awesome.
People have forgotten how to let quarterbacks struggle and develop.
Yes.
People's takes today about Cade Klubnik and Drew Aller are the take they had the first time they saw him struggle 2 years ago when they were first-year starters. When Drew Aller was a first-year starter, he had no receivers, and he was playing the best defenses we've probably seen in a long time because of Ohio State and Michigan. Because he couldn't beat them, their takes were made that day. Well, Drew Aller is a lot better today than he was then. He has developed into the potential he was going to have, and now he has receivers. And Cade Klubnik is the exact same thing. He was shaky 2 years ago, and he was up and down. Last year, especially towards the end of the year, he was fucking dynamite. 36 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and can run, can extend plays. He is fantastic. And now you get the fully developed version of him. Now you get the best version of him. Now you have 2 guys who went somewhere, struggled, stayed, developed, and here you go. You got these grown-ass men, college quarterbacks who are going to be the best versions of themselves. Instead, we want to be married to what they were when we first saw them, and it's really stupid. I don't know why Ohio or college football fans aren't smarter than this. I'm trying to make you guys smarter.
Well, and one thing, in doing my show Snaps there in Murray the last few years, I got a real deep quarterback perspective on things.
Yeah.
And the thing that always stuck with me, because I came from, I feel like I grew up watching Drew Brees play, which he was always a guy where you could give him any receivers and he would make them good. Aaron kind of pointed out to me, no, as a quarterback, having elite weapons makes all the difference in the world. And here Cade Klubnik is. Look at his top 3 receivers from last year. Antonio Williams, 75 for 904, 11 tuds. He was a sophomore.
Yeah.
Brian Wesco Jr., 41, 708, 5 tuds. He was a freshman. TJ Moore, freshman. All of his top receivers are back. That's another year on task. That's why I said with Drew Aller, I got to make sure that he's with those receivers every single, because Cade Klubnik's been doing his guys now for over 2 calendar years.
Yeah.
They're going to be dialed. And they've got a good running game. And they're great. They return every offensive lineman. Every fucking offensive lineman.
People push back on praising Cade Klubnik. They push back on praising Drew Aller, and they're being stupid about both of them.
Well, I think the other thing, too, is that list is not NFL potential. It's not like
it's college football
It's
players.
not individually removed from a team who is the best player. It is within the context of the team who is going to be the best player this year. And so Cade has all the advantages this year that a quarterback dreams of.
Yeah. I think he's going to be phenomenal. I think he's going to be great. And now I think Nussmeier is going to be very good, too. He threw for 4,000 yards
He, too,
last
has
year.
all – he has his – their only question is they were replacing O-line. Now, they replaced it with talent, but, they got to go out and prove it.
Yeah.
But Cade doesn't have that. He returns all 5 linemen.
Blutman, I noticed you've returned.
I did return. First off, I honestly just want to come in here and give a little glazing to you, Brandon Walker, because that was incredible what you just said. College football fans, sports fans in general, they are stubborn to a point that it ruins every brain cell of their being.
Yeah.
It is unbelievably, it is unfathomable. I applaud you, Brandon, for having the balls to call them out right here, right now, on a show such as Mostly Sports.
That was weird phrasing, but okay.
So what did you think of Brandon's top 10?
I think he has. I'm going to be making my top 10 later. I think 70 or 80% of it is correct.
Wait a second. You helped craft the list.
Yeah, but I can't be the end all. I can't be
Hold
the
on.
end all.
He purposely fed you. He purposely fed you bad answers.
Did you?
No, I can't be the end all.
Did you throw me some curveballs? Did you throw some balls outside the zone to see if I chased?
Behind the scenes, talk. I set up for you. I was like, if you leave Dylan Store off, this happens. You leave Ryan Williams off, this happens.
Yeah.
I would probably be leaving Williams off.
I
think that there are better wide receivers than Ryan Williams today.
Jordan
think Cam
Tyson?
Coleman
Yeah.
is better. I think Jordan Tyson is better. I think Ryan Wingo is better. I think Ryan Williams is great. I think he's an incredible player that will end up having a pretty good NFL career. I think people are overlooking and looking straight to Ryan Williams because the highlight reel plays, the almost game-breaking ability with the basketball, he's doing jukes, straight up basketball moves out there.
The Georgia play was
correct. They're overlooking other amazing talent for that. The freshman wide receiver class last year is one of the most absurd, just jam-packed in talents, and people are overlooking Wingo and Coleman because of Jeremiah and Ryan, and that's unfair to those two guys, and there's plenty more that we gotta get geeked about.
Blood raises a really good point in that on a down-to-down basis, Ryan Williams, maybe not the measure of a Jordan Tyson, but God, that Georgia play was the best play I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
It was.
It's still.
And so I guess the idea is if he can build on kind of the fundamental route running consistency, production consistency, you think his ceiling could be higher because nobody else could create the play that he created in that moment.
Right. There is a matter of projection with some of these guys, right? Like Jordan Tyson right now, he's probably right, is a better product than a more finished product than Ryan Williams. But if he takes the leap from year 1 to year 2 that a lot of receivers are able to take, if he takes that leap and you take his natural talent into consideration, it's very, very easy for me to see him being a top 3 player at the end of the year. much less a top 10.
So that's the same like way I'm looking at it, except with Cam Coleman. 'Cause
Yeah.
I just think Cam Coleman is.
I don't know that we've still found a coach/quarterback combination that's going to feed Cam Coleman the way he ought to be fed. I
mean, if they can't do it this year with Arnold and Freeze,
Hugh Freeze has lost whatever
has to give it up.
whatever it was that made him special as an offensive coach is gone. Whatever it was that made him special as an offensive
Bo
coach
Wallace took it.
Yeah.
at Ole Miss or at Liberty.
I was gonna say it died in the hospital bed in the press box.
The all-time great. One of the. I probably saw that on No Context.
What the
College football back in the day.
the
Yeah.
bed?
Yeah,
The
him
blog.
giving me the thumbs up. From
No context with the JMU shout out yesterday.
He is such.
Thanks, James.
I hate
Madison,
Hugh Freeze.
Michael Scott.
I will always hate Hugh Freeze. Such a bad guy.
I would just. We're investing stocks into these college football players. I would put a lot of stock into Cam Coleman.
It is interesting though because Cam Coleman did not have as good a stats as Ryan Williams did last year.
Yeah, but that's
But again, he was
in a terrible situation.
Peyton Thorne. Like that.
I agree. I
He
agree.
had
I agree.
Connor Griffin throwing him the football. And you just look at Cam Coleman, and the first thing that comes to mind, the first word, I guess for every mind it's different. To me, it's gifted. Mm-hmm. Just,
And they added-
I'm happy we're talking college ball.
I mean, I don't know what got me more warm in my loins, Jennifer or this college talk, but I'm loving it. They did add Auburn adds Eric Singleton to the mix as well from Georgia Tech, I believe. That's gonna help free up and make up for the loss of Lambert Smith.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be. They gotta take a big. Auburn has to take a big step forward. But the problem with Auburn trying to take a step forward is, I feel like where they're trying to get to is where every single team is. I don't think that elite SEC team exists, but I think there's 10 teams that are fighting right there in that top middle
Yeah.
to try to get to the playoff spot, which is a little bit different than normal years where you have the elite teams kind of fighting off people. This is going to be – it's very crowded in the space Auburn is trying to get to.
I will say this for Auburn. If, like, kind of what you were getting at earlier, if teams are going to stack recruiting classes and stack these players, eventually you have to take advantage of those. You have to blame the coach. I was very interested to see Auburn, Oregon, LSU.
Yeah.
The only schools to finish top 10 in both recruiting and transfer portal. Obviously, Dan Lanning's taking advantage. Brian Kelly has to prove that he can, and Hugh Freeze, to a lesser ceiling, has to prove that he can.
I mean, LSU has they did win the West or they did win
Yeah, they got the sneaky West win year one.
the sneaky West win year one. They've been close. Auburn hasn't
that's what I'm
been
saying, yeah.
close. Auburn isn't even in the realm of close.
What does Auburn have to do for Freeze to?
They got to win 9 games, right?
9-3. Got to be 9-3.
They got that group that just missed the playoff last year in the SEC, South Carolina, Alabama, Ole Miss. Auburn needs to be one of in that circle.
They need to be bitching about how, well, look at the analytics.
They need to be
so hard.
Come like mid-November, they need to be looking at schedules and be making a case for the playoff. And if they're not making a case for the playoff, then it's a abject failure. But Hugh Freeze is another guy. Like at Ole Miss, he was able to figure out how to recruit elite classes.
Yeah,
His best year was 9-3.
I know.
He's never done better than 9-3 at a SEC school in his entire life. So a Tiger can't change his stripes. I don't know that he's going to become a national championship coach.
That was good.
That was good.
Listen,
Give him
guys, as college football gets closer, I'm locking the fuck in. I don't know what you guys are doing.
TJ, give him some XP.
Yeah,
That's the newspaper background right there. That's a headline.
I was a hell of a headline.
After a big loss, Tiger can't take his stripes. Freezes in the big game.
I wouldn't mind if we could go down one of my headline writing rabbit holes one day if you'd like.
A cold freeze has settled on the plains as the Auburn Tigers once again fall short of expectations.
What hue of blue is Freeze?
That's a Hugh loss.
What?
Humongous what?
Oh, Hugh. Okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What?
Hugh loss, like huge freeze. That's how it's pronounced, right?
Boy, oh boy. Okay,
I'll be here the rest of the
Hugh
week.
Fresh. Cream Fresh.
Hugh Fresh.
Connor, are you?
I'm a Hugh Fresh fan.
Are you ready to talk about Superman?
I think
Fuck, dude.
You haven't seen it?
No, everybody keep it spoiler. Everybody's seen except for me, and it's my fault. I know.
No
This
spoilers?
will be a spoiler-free
spoilers,
conversation.
please.
Right after this ad.
Right after this ad. You're right.
Read by T-Bob.
And that's why I want to talk to y'all about Body Armor. This episode brought to you by Body Armor Sports Drink. This summer, cool off with BODYARMOR Chill, a bold new way to hydrate with no artificial dyes, flavors, or sweeteners. Enjoy a refreshing, cooling sensation in not one, not two, but 3 impossibly cold flavors: frozen berry, frozen cherry, and frozen orange. Available for a limited time. It's orange, sorry. Available for a limited time. Grab yours at a 7-Eleven or a store near you. Body Armor Sports Drink. Body Armor. Chill. Yeah. Chill. A lot of cold-themed advertisements here. Mm-hmm. Love it.
Well, it's the heart of summer. Nothing better in the heart of summer than something chill, something cold.
It's true.
Like a snow cone.
Are we the coldest show out there?
When's the last time y'all got a good snow cone? Do y'all call them snowballs
We
or
call
snow
them
cones?
snowballs.
Snowballs?
Like,
Call them snow cones where I'm from.
I had them almost daily at the lake. We have one of the little.
Yeah, daily snowballs.
you're not a prepackaged guy.
No.
Okay, good,
There's
good,
a
good.
little.
I'm talking that you go to that fucking trailer. There's a 17-year-old girl in there
Yeah.
working her way through the summer, and she's pouring the.
Yeah, and you
fucking-
get tiger blood with condensed milk.
I don't get that.
You don't get tiger blood?
No,
that?
I would get cotton candy.
It's red.
That's the red.
It's red. It's fucking delicious. Tiger's blood with condensed milk.
I'd get cotton candy on
Candy,
one
what is it,
half.
fucking 6.
It was blue, and then I got banana on the other half. It was yellow, and in the middle it would go green. It was great. And by the end, you just swirl around, it would just be a green mess.
I mean, that right there, I can
Oh,
taste
yeah.
that.
Oh, my God. That looks
my
great.
tongue.
Can we do it?
We need a trip to do. Can we just go?
Can we just do snow cone day?
But the problem is,
That's a mess.
Low quality snow cones suck.
Yeah.
Like when the ice is too icy, or it won't melt.
Well, like a lot of places, I've realized that like Little League parks and stuff, they'll park the truck out there and they just hand you a cup of shaved ice.
Yeah.
And then you add your own flavoring, which is okay, but it is lower quality at the end. As you said, I need a disgruntled high schooler.
Yeah.
It's like
Who's when you walk up, she's doing this.
Yes.
And you look up, and she looks up, sees you, she's like,
yes.
that's who serves snow cones.
It's the same thing that I want from people at movie theaters.
Also, there needs to be like 2 17-year-old boys sitting at the picnic table trying to holler at her, but they don't have the
fuck
nerve to go
yeah.
up there. Yeah.
That's how you know you're in the good spot right there. That's how you know you've made it.
Because I once was that 17-year-old boy just hanging out outside the snow cone trailer, waiting for
Well, look, Missy was fine.
her to get off.
Everybody, you're trying to get her off.
I
when
didn't
she
know.
got
I
off.
didn't even know what that meant at the time. Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 thoughts. You can have as many thoughts as you'd like. Number 1, pretty good. Yeah, pretty good.
yeah.
I thought
Hell yeah.
a good use of 2 hours. I thought
It was fun.
it's a fun movie. I don't think what I'm about to say are spoilers. So
It's okay.
number 2, I could have used a bit more super in my man.
It seems to be a take that a lot of people are having.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot of spoons in the soup, and I just need one big super spoon in the soup. I think that he could be called Resilient Man, but he doesn't. Not a whole lot of super for this Superman, but
A lot of people helping Superman.
a lot of people helping Superman. I'm not. He should be the one helping them. Anyway, and number 3, love dogs. Let's scale back on the dog a little bit. There was a lot of dog. There was a lot of dog.
So outside looking in,
There was a lot of dog,
I
T-Bob.
haven't seen the movie, but this is why I love James Gunn,
Yeah.
because he takes the super comic booky elements
Yeah.
of these comic book movies and he goes for it. Like, do you remember seeing the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer the first time you ever saw it? You're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And then he made it work. I mean, he used Guy Gardner's Green Lantern. I don't know if they used to do like Justice League International or what exactly they did, but Guy Gardner's Green Lantern is not everybody's flavor.
He's
a
like
douchebag,
bottom. He's not even in the top 5 Green Lantern.
but he's fucking awesome. I used to love Guy Gardner growing up. Do you know he played football in Michigan? What? Before he blew out his knee. Yeah.
You a Hal Jordan or a John Stewart guy?
Neither. I'm a 90s kid. I grew up on Kyle Rayner after Hal Jordan became Parallax and destroyed the Central Lantern and destroyed Oa and all the Guardians. And the final ring was given to Kyle Rayner, who was a comic book artist. So instead of like Hal Jordan's baseball gloves and trains, you would get like Mech Samurai with fucking machine.
So I
guns.
have another question for you then. Are you Wally West or Barry Allen?
I'm a Wally West guy.
Ugh.
That's my era. That's my era. You're more Silver Age. You're going Hal Jordan. You're going Barry Allen. No, I'm Wally West. I'm Kyle Rayner. But that's fine. That's fine. I'm also Guy Gardner. Shout out Guy Gardner. He had an awesome restaurant called Warriors, which is one of my favorite single issues of any comic book ever. He has a massive opening party at this restaurant, and all the superheroes show up. It's the mulleted 80s or early 90s Superman, and Lobo shows up and starts like a giant bar fight with all these superheroes. It's fucking incredible.
You didn't know what you opened.
You opened a can of worms.
Yeah.
Timeout.
Timeout?
Timeout, TJ.
Timeout?
Timeout.
Full?
Full. What? I'm taking a full timeout.
Okay, God.
If you ever, if you fucking ever fully nerd out like that was shocking. That was bothersome. That offended me. that was a level. I got time out. That was a level of nerddom that made me uncomfortable. I felt like I was watching a crime. Don't do that again. Don't ever fucking do that.
It's
again.
the fucking best. TJ, look up.
No, we're in a timeout.
Look up Guy Gardner.
You can't look up at something in a timeout.
Guy Gardner Warrior.
Well, that's actually what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go to he's drawing up a play.
Yeah, we're going to.
Wait, are you challenging something right now?
We're going to the booth.
Yeah, you called a timeout to challenge. No, I think that that Superman and Lex Luthor and Lois Lane, all three performances were awesome, and I wish
Agreed.
that there was way. I think Robbie Fox said it perfectly. It's like every time they left the screen, I wanted them to come back.
Correct.
And it's like I loved all three of those characters.
new
I just
Superman
needed way
actors-
more of them.
This is a good Superman. It's a good Lois. It's a great Lex. Lex Luthor's
Nicholas
fantastic.
Holt,
Who doesn't love
no
Nicholas
spoilers,
Holt, dude?
steals the show. He's awesome.
He is fucking awesome.
He did
And
better
you're-
than Jesse Eisenberg.
And you're right.
Zack Snyder.
They throw there's 15 other. I mean, there's so many other characters that just come in and steal some screen time, and they're not bad, but it's a Superman movie.
No, well, to your point, there's one in particular. I mean, he's in the trailer. Mr. Terrific, I think, is like the star of the movie.
It becomes his movie for about 15 minutes in the middle. It's his movie.
And that's where I was like, kind of outshines Superman.
Yeah.
It's a Superman. So anyway,
By the way, Superman actor though,
Good.
massive Star Wars fan.
unbelievable. He was
Fucking loves Qui-Gon.
He was waxing poetic about a clip that was going viral about Qui-Gon yesterday.
I just fucking.
TJ, can you look up Guy Gardner Warrior restaurant opening and go to the images tab?
Did you not hear me when I was in the timeout?
I just want to show you the restaurant.
What restaurant?
This one. Okay, now go to the okay. So the first picture there,
It's one thing to like Star Wars.
and now go see. So that's the front of the
It's
restaurant.
a
Go
whole
over
nother
one. Go
thing
over
to
one.
be a comic book nerd.
Oh wait, no, that's not it. Go over one.
The
more. Sorry, over
actual
one more.
comic books?
So look, that's Darkseid looking
Are
at
you hearing what I'm
the
saying?
restaurant. Look at Kyle Rayner. That's my Green Lantern right there. Look how sick his fucking costume is.
It's upside
Are
down.
you interested in doing the like Dark Side Apocalypse in the movie setting? Or, like, because I don't know how many times you can just do like the super clash. I think it is more interesting to do the Lex Luthor clash of like brain versus brawn. I think that is, and what in challenging Superman's role in the human race is a little bit more interesting than just watching two mega
Yes.
ultra meta humans fight.
I think you can maybe build to that point. I think that in a lot of ways, Lex Luthor is the villain Batman, where he is, Batman's a human always hanging with the big dogs out of pure competence and money. Lex Luthor is a lot of that, but for the villains. And that creates for very interesting storylines.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of the best Superman storylines we've ever had, like you look at the Injustice universe where
Mm-hmm.
Joker basically mind controls Superman and has him kill Lois Lane, thinking he's killing Joker, and then the fallout from that is those it's fun things that you can play with there.
You guys.
Writing Superman's hard though. How do you make Superman vulnerable without making him appear weak? How do you make him actually threatened when he's the most powerful being on the planet? And that's what I'm interested to see if the movie accomplishes that.
You have to see it.
I
Like,
know.
tonight.
I can't. I have to do the home run derby night. It's always something.
Like tomorrow.
I got to get a babysitter. I think we have a good. Lead on babysitters.
One more.
High school Brandon. That's a very good point. I think why I took the high school Brandon looks like Guy Gardner, the same exact haircut.
Oh man.
If you look up Guy Gardner in the comics. Sorry, what were you saying, Evan?
Just another superhero comic book thing. Are you Invincible guy? Have you read Invincible?
Yes, I read Invincible
Okay.
for years.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Free.
What do you think of the screen adaptation?
Are you coming out as a comic book nerd?
It's good. I haven't.
You were always my sports nerd. What are you doing?
Look, tell me that's not Brandon in high school. I mean, that is 1,000%.
Flutman, you too?
I hate the whole world of superheroes and all that. So I'm not. That was funny though.
What, Ebo? What are you doing?
We're just talking about.
He's finally been empowered.
I may have watched all the new DC animated movies on Max.
Yeah.
I may have watched everything.
Are they HBO Max again?
Yes.
Make a decision, guys.
I love thinking about the amount of money that marketers got paid just to be like, guys, just to say the same things over and over again. Who the fuck now, who should be fired, is whoever thought like, hey, let's take the best branded premium cable brand that we have and take it off the name.
Yeah.
And just become Max, because that's smart.
Speaking of the home run derby that you're doing tonight, are you commentating or hitting?
I am hitting.
And Connor, you're commentating?
Commentating with PFT and Eddie.
Now, this was they're running it back. They're doing it kind of different than they did last year, I believe.
Yeah.
But anyway, the home run derby is tonight, same place. And the home run derby last year, one star emerged.
Yep.
One star shone brighter than all the other stars. And that was a behind-the-scenes guy who about 200 home runs in, they were like, we need some help. And we looked at Ebo and said, save us. And this motherfucker came out there hitting balls, just hitting bombs, just dominating. One of the more impressive individual performances in my 6-year history at Barstool. Well, this year we got there.
Ebo.
When they put out the graphic yesterday, Tate was going to exclude Ebo.
Do we think this was oversight?
I don't know,
or
but
malpractice.
He's got himself in there. Which we got some new guys this year, right? So Tate wasn't in it last year, I don't think, and then Dana wasn't. Kadick is new. You're new. Everybody else I think is running it back. Hank was great last year.
Is my team
No,
bad?
your team's gonna get. Well, where'd they put Ebo? That's,
Hank.
We should.
Oh, then
good. Okay, because
yeah.
we need that looking at this lineup.
Yeah. So they put it together without Ebo, and then the Ebo Nation rose up. The Ebo Nation on Twitter weren't having it, and they were like, we will not stand. The E-boners
E-boys.
Stepped up and said, we will not have this. And within an hour, I believe you were added back, correct?
I think it was within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a call from Tate. But yeah, no, I kind of understand not being included with it because, I mean, I'm not truly content, and there's content.
You're on this show
people
every
on
day.
there. Sure, yeah, but I kind of blur the lines, and I work a lot behind the scenes.
No, go back, Teach. Look at Ebo's forearms, though. Stay there. Look at that. Flex your left hand a little bit. Work your left hand. Woo, boy.
He knows what he's doing.
Let's go.
I do appreciate all the boners out there and all the E-boys or whatever they want to go by.
E-boys is funny.
Tagging and sending on me in and getting me involved. I really appreciate it.
Good, because I'm fucking terrible. I already got a group I got a text from my high school friends with the screenshot of the graphic saying, T-Bob, is this stream going to be your redemption for 8th grade baseball where you had like 100 batting average?
Who did they add to the? Is that
would be
the memes? Can
He can hit a little bit.
Can
He's
he?
on the pugs.
Make sure to stretch beforehand.
I've never hit a home run over a fence in my life.
Hitting?
Never hit?
You never hit in a home run?
Yeah. I know. Learn to shoot ball.
I have
I'll never hit in a home run.
over the fence. I have 4, but they all came in adulthood.
Okay, still.
They all came in adult baseball league, or I got one slow pitch softball home run. But I didn't play much of those.
I did one time. My mother, through an auction, won batting practice at Yankee Stadium, and I got to go to that when I was in college.
Oh, okay.
And
you took batting practice at Yankee Stadium?
And I was extremely stoned, extremely hungover. I had cargo shorts and flip-flops on, and I put one to the wall and bounced one over, or 2 to the wall, bounced one over.
Then I think you'll be fine tonight.
So I hope. I hope that is because otherwise the last time I swung was 8th grade baseball where I struck out, I think 15 times in a row, maybe 18. I would cry when I got back to the dugout.
Offensive linemen can either be the most impressive hitter you ever seen, or they can look
really bad,
fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And there's not really much in between.
No. I'm just gonna try to muscle it, baby.
Johnny Furphy?
Funny name.
Johnny Furphy.
Funny fucking name.
Is this? Well, I'll allow you to ask the questions.
I think that
it's not the greatest white guy dunk of all time.
No. Which you of course referenced some like
the greatest white guy dunk of all time is Tom Chambers. Sorry.
I don't. Tom Chambers over Mark Jackson specifically.
Correct. It's the greatest white boy dunk of all time. And it's just so this is last night in Summer League. All right.
Beautiful.
Oh God.
Okay. Awesome dunk. Awesome dunk. I mean, no other way around. The way he cocks it.
Awesome
back.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the handles before.
But the cup is like necessary to get the defender to fly by.
Yeah.
It's not like he's just cupping it for show.
It's functional. Yeah.
Look at that. I mean, there's no way around that being awesome. But the bigger story here is the picture.
The picture of the dunk.
It is. Oh my.
Oh God.
Dude.
God. The eyes.
Noah Essenway will never recover from.
Yeah, that might be it for him.
I mean, not so. It's everything. Furphy is behind him in a position of aggressive dominance, mounted on him, and Essenway's eyes are rolled back in his head in what could only be described as the same painful ecstasy that one must feel when getting their back blown out. Like, he's coming. Right there, Essenway is coming. And Furphy says, well, guess what? We're going for two. He's not stopping anytime soon. It's a brutal look. And then there's the added layer of Essenway gets to that face because he feels like he's being fouled. Mm-hmm. Because his flopping is so inherent to the game at this point that even in trying to block a dunk, which is getting dominated, he thinks he's being fouled. It's an awful picture on all fronts.
But did you see the SportsCenter anchors just laughing their asses off at the picture?
No.
Here's how it sounded. I need Buddy to be healthy. Oh my goodness. Oh, an SNK on a poster. That's the worst poster I've seen in my life.
Oh, no.
Yes.
It cuts to them in a second.
Is that real? Is that real?
That is the worst poster of all time.
What do you think about the guy that's got that hung up in his bedroom?
My guy is getting his back blown out.
You walk into your buddy's room. He's like, let's go, come over, play some cards. We'll play some shoots and ladders. Just got that poster hanging up above his bed.
TJ, show me. I'll let you talk, but TJ, show me Tom Chambers dunking over Mark Jackson when you can. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, how does he survive this? How does he recover?
It was
from
in
this?
Summer League anyway. Like, is this guy a first round pick?
I'm not
he
sure.
was top 15.
Okay,
Is
well
there
he'll
a
be
way
fine.
For
He'll be
him
fine.
to parlay this and do like a marketing opportunity to like get some
Can I be honest?
to live it, like to play into the joke or something.
His next Summer League game, he has to have one goal and one goal only, and he has to try it like 15 times. He has to dunk on somebody as hard as he possibly can.
I don't even know if that's going to save. I
think it'll help.
It won't hurt. It won't hurt.
Or
like if he walks in with a shirt with the picture on it,
That'd be
is that
funny,
charming.
yeah.
That would act okay. Tej, now I don't hate where you're going with that. I was going to say ignore it at all costs, but there is the lean into an angle.
You got to do
which could
something.
work.
I
Yeah.
think.
well, what if it happens again?
Now we got What if he has just the eye roll problem whenever he gets dunked on or crossed up?
He's going to need to. You know what's funny is is this going to legitimately make him hesitate when thinking about challenging a guy at the rim next time?
Could be his origin story.
Like does this weasel into his mind where then we see him hesitate so he loses a step or doesn't get it?
Are you saying like origin story where in 15 years he's like one of the greatest players of all time and it all started because of that moment?
It all started because Furphy blew his back out.
There's no way.
Yeah.
No, I
Well,
don't really think he's going to become one of the greatest players of all time, Liam.
There's an S in
No,
way.
I don't see it,
All
Brandon.
right, just
There's a will, there's
chill
a
out.
missing.
That was a good joke.
Just chill out.
He said there's no way. I said there's an S in way.
Great
All right.
pronunciation.
So now, the dunk itself is whatever. But he hits him. His knee hits his chest, and he goes higher than any human being's ever gone.
Okay, that's
a bad angle. But from the side, watch this.
Yes, he used Mark Jackson as
Correct,
a springboard to achieve the highest of
I
dunking
don't know,
heights.
Brandon.
Look how high he gets. Watch this. He gets his knee on his shoulder, and look at that picture right there.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Gets you like a 43 in the dunk contest.
No, that's not a dunk contest dunk.
Need
That's
him in the head.
yes.
43.
This is
Look at that picture.
This is up there with Antonio Brown doing the 300 on that punter.
Yeah.
That time when he literally jumped and just fucking put his foot in his face and ran over him.
I still don't get why that was a penalty.
Bullshit, right? I don't understand that at all. What they call unnecessary roughness?
Yeah.
That'll be back next
It's a
week.
good show.
All right. Anything else?
Robot umps in the All-Star game tonight. Thoughts?
MLB, I'm okay with it. College, I hate it.
You can challenge, I believe. I don't believe it is official
So
balls and
it's
strikes.
the semi-robot. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. You could challenge balls. and
It's
strikes.
hockey.
I think it's a good test balloon to see how many people freak out. I think Rob Manfred, in this regard, is probably the best commissioner in sports. Test it out in the All-Star game. If people just absolutely violently hate it, he just backs off of it. If not, he kind of pushes it forward a little bit.
The one thing that we didn't mention that I do maybe want to just spend a second on, how in the fuck is Cal Raleigh's brother 15?
How old is he? 28?
I don't mean in relation to Cal Raleigh. I mean, did you see the kid?
Yeah. Well, he's got
Go to my Twitter
MLB
and look at the
DNA
pictures.
going through his veins. I imagine Cal Raleigh was a big kid. Like
He's bigger than fucking Raleigh is, dude. Look at him. He's 15. He's got a
Yeah, he's a
$1 million
tank.
smile. I would be. I mean,
You buying
surely-
stock right now?
Yes. Surely this guy. I mean, I'm already at the point after last night where I'm like, well, he's not going to college.
Yeah.
But if
You've
he
already got him
does-
drafted in the first round.
Yes, but if he does, I look forward to watching him win a national championship with Jay Johnson at LSU.
He needs to move to the Holiday compound in Oklahoma City or Tulsa? Where are they at?
Is that where they work out of?
You've seen the Holiday House?
No.
Where-
They have a sick, just like barn.
They have a barn
Excellent.
dominium with a batting cage, and then outside they just have an infield.
Yeah.
They have an infield cut into their and inside they have a batting cage and it's crazy. They were trained to be assassins.
God, also, did Cal Raleigh's dad just achieve the best dad moment in human history last night?
Throwing to his son while his other son wins the home run derby,
And
Yeah,
he's
pretty
catching.
good.
And there's an awesome old school home video that was making the rounds on ESPN's Instagram where Cal Raleigh's a little kid in the backyard talking about how I'm the home run derby champion.
This is Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani excluded. This is the most aggressively a guy has taken over a summer in a while.
Yeah.
And Ohtani and Judge kind of do it every year, so I don't really get used. I mean, kind of used to it. But this is Cal Raleigh hit 38 last year. Now he has come out of nowhere to just not out of nowhere, but you know what I'm saying. He is dominating this summer.
Last
Dominating.
year-
38 home runs at the break. Wins the home run derby.
He's done a plus 370, I think, to be MVP in the
Yeah.
American League, which is like very cool.
Oh, look at this.
Last night was big for his MVP.
It's the young Cal Raleigh. Look at him.
I wasn't in a contest, was he?
You are going pee. What you say? What you say?
Beast.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
That's awesome, dude. I love that we live in a day and age, too, where we can get more and more videos of athletes when they're younger and see their kind of come up like that.
Yeah.
I mean, look, last year was Brat summer, correct?
Yes.
This is Big Dumper summer.
Well, last year was what?
Brat summer?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you
there
don't-
was also another summer that.
Oh, it was Glenn Powell summer, too.
Well, last year was Glenn Powell summer.
Oh,
Yeah, we've kind of cooled off.
God, I had a 2-week
Why?
stretch after Twisters where I would only wear a white T-shirt, jeans, and boots, and a cowboy hat.
You're saying he
I did the
he
same-
changed the way he dressed. He changed the way he dressed for two. He wore the fucking hat.
Oh, man.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow.
Say there, college girl.
I just don't know why they didn't kiss in that movie. That's all.
The thing that I like about
Deleted
Twisters
scene that they did?
is the inversion of, in the original Twister, the science guys are the stars that the
Yeah.
news are all around. But in this Twister, it's kind of the rogue YouTubers who are the stars. And now the science guys
Yeah.
have taken the backseat of the public light. Evolution of man.
Just looking back at that movie last year, the Twisters just kind of sucked.
No, Twisters was fun.
No.
a fun suck, though.
The Twisters kind of sucked.
Oh,
The Twisters were better in Twister than they were in Twisters. That last Twister, when at the end of Twisters, not Twister, the last Twister at the end of Twisters,
yeah.
it stayed in the same place for like 45 minutes.
I do like, though, like the whole idea of, like, you ever murdered a tornado? You want to take out a tornado? It's like every new Jurassic Park movie sucks, especially the Chris Pratt one. But I love the idea that in the Chris Pratt one, they were like, we got to weaponize these velociraptors to hunt terrorists in caves.
Yeah.
Like, that's funny.
Yeah.
They could have done a better job executing on that. Anyway,
All right, we'll be back tomorrow.
later, guys.
That's how ball is done.